welcome to RMSM Studio. I thought I would take some time today to address a frequently asked question. This one comes up a lot in the ARE Facebook group, in ARE 5 community. This comes up everywhere. And it's a very common question for everyone who takes the AREs is, which exam should I take first? So yeah, I'm very excited to share this topic because I feel like a lot of people are very confused, and with all the things that are coming in terms of, you know, the new testing type, there's a lot of concern, so this is one less thing you have to worry about. So yeah, I'll get into it in just a second, but make sure to help you actually with this test that you take. I have a free infographic on the substantial completion process. It's available at the link in the comments or on the video. It's available at my store, and it allows you to understand the parties involved in substantial completion, the responsibilities, and the actual progression of each task. Alright, so getting into the video. So why is it important to know which exam you should take first? Well, it depends on the person. Maybe you still haven't scheduled your first exam and you're on the fence about which one to take. They're all so different, and depending on your level of experience, all seem very complicated and you don't know exactly what to expect. And, you know, maybe you don't know in terms of materials which exam is the most expensive to buy materials for. That's a very important question for a lot of people. And maybe you're not sure how much time it will take to study for this exam. You know, different exams have different stuff going on. You know, you have PPD and PDD, which are the technical exams, which take up a lot of time, and, you know, you need to buy a lot of books. So a lot of people have questions about that as well. So let me go ahead and answer the question. I think the exam you should be taking first is the practice management exam, commonly called PCM. And I'll give you some really good reasons why it should be the first exam that you tackle. So first, for better or for worse, if you look at the NCARB stats, this is actually the test with the most administrations, the most fails, so to speak. It's considered to be one of the hardest ones. But the thing is with that is that because so many people are taking it as their first test, you're more likely to have more people taking the test. You're likely to have more administrations. And that also means that you have a larger community of test takers. So if you have a lot of people taking the exam, you know, a lot of people are going to fail that exam. And also with having a large community for that specific exam, it's easier to find a study group, you know, find like-minded people who are also looking for people to study with. And I'm planning on having another video sometime soon, hopefully this week or maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll do this, on, you know, actually creating and finding a good study group for your exams. Another great reason to study for practice management first is that there are multiple study resources for this exam. Like I said, it's one of the most popular exams to take first. And because of that, you know, a lot of test content providers create a lot of content for this exam. And you should really take advantage of that. There are lots of low-cost resources that are available for practice management. So that's another reason. And along with that, most of the testing materials for this exam are 100% document-based. So what do I mean when I say document-based? So one of the differences between, say, the contract and evaluation exam and PCM is PCM is based on contracts and on financial equations, and not so much on the drawing aspect, the construction detail aspect. And that can throw off a lot of people in terms of organizing their study time. You know, how much time do I spend looking at details versus how much time looking at contracts? Like if you take the construction evaluation exam, you have to study both. And that can be very difficult to knowing how to balance your time for that. So luckily for practice management, it's 100% document-based, mostly on contracts, reading textbooks, and you sort of really know what you're getting with the exam. It's going to be, you know, text-based questions. Any sort of diagrammatic questions you have would just be, you know, diagrams of text, diagrams of concepts. So I would say it's less stressful in that in that regard than taking, say, CE or PPD or PDD. And along with having multiple study resources for this exam, I would say that it's actually one of the cheapest exams to study for. I think the three professional practice exams, PCM, PJM, and CE, I think those three are the cheapest exams to study for. Right now I'm studying for PA, and I don't even know how many textbooks I've had to buy for PA, and you're going to have similar situations for PPD and PDD, those technical exams, where those are going to be very expensive in terms of textbooks, or maybe you want to do video resources, maybe you want to get special coaching or, a boot camp program for that because you don't feel confident in those areas. So I would say practice management, in terms of paid materials, I feel like it's really easy to find really good, really cheap materials that you can get for this exam. And finally, I would say that one of the reasons why practice management should be one of the first exams you take is that the contracts that you learn in practice management will be showing up in basically all of the exams. So obviously they're going to be found mostly in the professional practice exams, practice management, project management, construction evaluation, but they might also pop up in the PAs, the PPDs, the PDDs. And if you've been studying the B101 and the A201 in detail for practice management, you won't be fazed so much when you see it in the other exams. You already know what the question's sort of asking for. So those are my reasons for why PCM is the first exam that you should take. If you disagree, if you think, maybe CE is better or maybe PJM is better, feel free to leave, your opinion or your thoughts in the comments. And if you have any questions, I'll be sticking around to answer any questions anyone has as well about taking PCM. And again, remember, for PCM, I actually have that free infographic available at my website, and it's also in the link in the comments, and it's also available at my store. All right, so thanks everybody for watching. Have a great night.